Assalamu alaikum, my dear students. How are you? I hope all of you are fine. Welcome everyone to the class of Bangladesh and Global Studies. And this session is on Chapter 2, The Independent Bangladesh. I am Rushdia Haq, lecturer, Department of Geography, Milestone College. So dear students, let's go to the main lecture. Today's session is on the background of formulating the constitution and also the characteristics of constitution. Then we will go to the next lesson. Okay, now come to the background of formulating the constitution. As we all know that the constitution is the topmost document of a country. It reflects the purpose, mission and vision of a state. Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman first proclaimed a temporary constitution order on 11 January 1972. The parliamentary form of government was established under this order instead of the presidential form of government. Mind it very carefully. There were some key features of the temporary constitution, like the order of the constitution was the temporary order. It would be enforced immediately. It would be applicable to the whole country. A Ganaparishad would be formed to draft a constitution for Bangladesh. There would be a cabinet to run the administration. The Prime Minister would be its chief. The president would be the titular head. So Prime Minister will be head. The president proclaimed Bangladesh Ganaparishad order on 23rd March 1972, and a long cherished dream of the people of Bangladesh came into being from that proclamation. The members elected in the National and Provincial Assembly, which was held as the general election in 1970, would be the members of the Ganaparishad. The main objective of the Ganaparishad would be to prepare the constitution. For this purpose, the Ganaparishad was formed, and the first session of the Ganaparishad was held on 10th April 1972. And there were 34 members in the committee, and it was headed by Dr. Kamal Hossain. A female member was also there, and Suranjit Sengupta, a then leader of the NAP Muzaffar, was also the member of the committee. Then the committee sought suggestions about the constitution from the organizations and the interested persons. A draft constitution was placed as a bill at the second session of the Ganaparishad on 12th October 1972, and the constitution was adopted on 4th November in the same year, and it was enforced from 16 December 1972. 16 December is our Victory Day. And while addressing on the constitution, Bangabandhu said, "This constitution is written with the blood of the martyrs, and it will remain alive as a symbol of aspiration and dream of the people." And it's worth mentioning that Pakistan took 9 years to form their constitution. India took 3 years, but our Bangladesh formed our constitution within only 10 months. So it is a big pride for us. Now come to the next lesson, the characteristics of the constitution. The original constitution of 1972 was significant for the distinctive characteristics of the sovereign Bangladesh, and there are some I have made some points to ease your lesson. Like the constitution was written, it was non-changeable in terms of amendments. There were 4 principles of state policy which were written in it: nationalism, democracy, socialism, and secularism constituted the foundation of state policy. So these were the foundation or base of the state policy. The state would secure the basic necessaries of life, including food, clothing, shelter, education, and medical care. Then next point is defending the fundamental rights of the people is the main characteristic of the constitution. Next point, protection of rights to life and personal liberty, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, freedom of thought and conscience and of speech, freedom of religion, rights to property were ensured in this constitution. Next point, Bangladesh was described in the constitution as a unitary state to be known as the People's Republic of Bangladesh. The national parliament would be a sovereign body to enact laws. Next point, all powers in the republic belong to the people. This declaration established the people's sovereignty. Next point, the constitution was stated as the supreme law of the republic. The Supreme Court can nullify any law which is inconsistent with the constitution, describing it as unconstitutional, and uphold the honor and the supremacy, that means the dignity, of the constitution. The parliamentary democracy was introduced in there according to the article number 77. Next point, the parliament by law may provide for the establishment of the office of ombudsman. In the constitution of Bangladesh, irrespective to caste and creed, any person who is not less than 18 years of age under the one person one vote policy can administer his or her voting right in the general election. And in this constitution, the principles of the state, cooperative and private ownership were stated. The parliament will be of the single assembly. Next point, of these amendments, now come to the amendments. There were different times, there were different amendments of that amendments. 15 times our constitution was amended. 5th amendment by the late President Zia Rahman. 7th and 13th were done by General Ershad, and their amendment were nullified by the Supreme Court. You will have to remember that. Okay, next, come to the next topic, the brutal killing of 15th August 1975. It was a black stain in our history, in the history of Bangladesh. You all know about that. On 15 August 1975, the father of the nation, our Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, was brutally killed with his family members, and it was a very much painful assassination in our history. Our Bengali nation experienced this killing. At the dawn, a section of aberrant and ambitious officers of the Bangladesh Army, by the provocation of the anti-liberation force, assassinated our Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who was the founder of Bangladesh and our father of the nation. and he was assassinated at his own residence on the road number 32 of Dhanmondi. And you all know that no family member of Bangabandhu were present in the house remained alive. Even Russell, an innocent child of 10 years only, he was not spared of the bullets of those cruel killers. When Bangabandhu was proceeding with the ambition of making a modern, oppression and corruption-free state, then on that time some conspirators who were hiding inside or outside the country organized the assassination of 15 August, and they were helped by the local and international reactionary groups. They understood that Bangabandhu would be successful in materializing the second revolution as was successful in the liberation war. They hatched a blueprint to reverse the political direction of the country. The Pakistani communal ideal was re-established, that means non-secularism was established through the killing. It was the most heinous and anti-human crime. It was the part of a secret conspiracy. Bangladesh fell into a deep political crisis then after the killing of Bangabandhu. So it was a black history, black day of our history. And we all know that 15 August is our National Mourning Day. Come to the next session. The black stain in the history of Bangladesh and the gruesome murder in jail, which was happened in 3rd November in the same year, that means in 1975. And we will learn what happened between 15 August to 3rd November. Khandokar Mustaq Ahmed, we have learned his name before, the then Minister of Commerce, who was also the Foreign Minister of Mujibnagar government. He assumed power as the president after the killing of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. After only 5 days of assuming the power, the martial law was declared in the country. Our 4 national leaders, that means Soyed Nazrul Islam, Tajuddin Ahmed, Captain A. Mansur Ali, and A.H.M. Kamruzzaman, they were arrested on 22nd August 1975. General Ziaur Rahman was appointed as the Chief of Army Staff, replacing General K.M. Shafiullah on 24th August. You will have to remember the date very carefully. Ban on politics and the political parties was imposed by an order on 31st August, mark the date. Khandokar Mustaq Ahmed declared an ordinance inconsistent with the Constitution and Justice on 26th September 1975. What was the ordinance? It was called Indemnity Ordinance, just to save the killers of Bangabandhu from the trial. The junior army officers who were involved in the killing on 15th August started interfering in the state affairs, staying at the President building instead of returning to the barrack. A chaotic situation prevailed in the country. Brigadier Khalid Musharraf took initiative to restore the chain of command in the army. An army revolution took place on 3rd November 1975 under his leadership. Khandokar Mustaq resigned from his power on 5th November 1975. A.S.M. Saim, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, took vote as the new president on the next day of resignation of Khandokar Mustaq Ahmed, that means on 6th November 1975. So this was what happened after the assassination of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Come to the next lesson, the heinous killing in jail, 3rd November 1975. The killers involved in the assassination of 15 August, they illegally entered the Dhaka Central Jail with the permission of Khondokar Mustaq Ahmed, and they brutally killed our 4 leaders, Soyed Nazrul Islam, Tajuddin Ahmed, Captain M. Mansur Ali, and A.H.M. Kamruzzaman. They led the liberation war. It was another black stain in the political history of Bangladesh. This heinous killing created an adverse reaction among the people and the army of the country. This incident accelerated the fall of Mustaq regime. The killers were forced to leave the country. The killing was the implementation of a blueprint of the anti-liberation force of 1971, and a conspiring groups were in the country. The aim of those killing was to destroy the success and glory and victory of our liberation war, and they wanted to make a vacuum of leadership in the country and restore the ideals of Pakistan. The one and the same quarter initiated both the killing missions of 15 August and 3rd November. So my dear students, I am giving you a homework. 2 questions. Number 1, write down the background of the Constitution, and number 2, write down the characteristics of the Constitution. So in number 1, you will have to write down what happened during the formation of our Constitution. That means from the order of the proclamation up to the enforcement of the Constitution. You will have to write down it serially, sequentially. Then second question is, write down the characteristics of the Constitution. You will have to write down the characteristics by points. Okay, I hope all of you have understood the homework that I have given. So my dear students, thank you everyone for listening the class, and I hope all of you have understood my lecture. If you face any problem, then please tell us. We are here to help you. Allah Hafiz.